If you walk into a commercial chain and order a macchiato, you'll probably receive a 24-ounce cup of milk, flavored syrup, and caramel drizzle. Walk into an independent specialty shop and order the exact same thing, and you'll get a pure espresso shot served in a tiny demi-tasse. Relying on commercial naming conventions creates a complete disconnect. When menus normalize a 16-ounce caramel macchiato, they obscure the mechanics of what a true espresso-based drink actually is. This chart plots espresso intensity against milk volume and texture. That large chain-style cup sits in the top left, maximizing milk and sugar. A true specialty drink sits in the bottom right, using a tiny volume of milk to preserve the espresso's intensity. To navigate any specialty menu, you have to manage three specific variables: the volume of the drink, the concentration of the espresso ratio, and the roast's flavor profile. When these three inputs are aligned, the coffee and milk work together. When they are out of sync, the result is usually a cup that feels either sour, hollow, or overly bitter. This matrix breaks down the structures of the three core milk-based drinks. The traditional macchiato uses a 4-to-1 ratio of espresso to milk. In this configuration, the milk is minimal. You are simply adding a small dollop of foam to stain the espresso, which is the literal translation of the Italian word macchiato. It adds a hint of sweetness without diluting the body. It was developed in Italy as a way to provide a concentrated, rapid caffeinated hit that customers could finish quickly at a standing bar. Moving down the matrix, we have the Cortado. This drink reaches a 4-ounce total volume by using a strict 1-to-1 ratio of espresso to warm milk, with almost zero foam. Named after the Spanish verb to cut, the Cortado originated in Spain's Basque Country. The milk is intended to slice through the espresso's acidity, smoothing the flavor while keeping the texture light. The flat white increases the volume further, using 1/3 espresso to 2/3 milk. The milk is textured into a silky microfoam that integrates fully with the coffee. Documentation shows the drink appearing in Sydney's cafe scene in the early 1980s. However, New Zealand also maintains a persistent claim to its origin. This regional rivalry helped the flat white spread quickly across the Tasman Sea, before it eventually became a global specialty standard. Milk volume establishes the baseline intensity of the drink, but that intensity changes depending on how you pull the espresso shot itself. The espresso-brew ratio is the relationship between the weight of your dry coffee grounds and the weight of the liquid yield in the cup. A 1-to-1 Ristretto shot pulls a liquid weight exactly equal to your dry grounds. The result is extremely viscous, dripping like warm honey. This method extracts only the most soluble sugars from the beans, creating a syrupy flavor bomb. However, because the yield is so small, it can struggle to maintain its character in larger milk volumes. A standard 1-to-2 ratio extends the extraction. By pushing twice as much water through the grounds, you capture a broader range of the coffee's compounds. This ratio is the standard for a reason. It balances acidity and sweetness with just enough bitterness to provide the backbone needed for a milk-based drink. Matching your espresso concentration to the total volume of your drink ensures the coffee stays present without becoming unpleasantly dominant. Finally, we have to consider the roast. Pairing a light roast with milk is a high-risk move. The bright, citrusy notes in lighter beans often taste sour when they meet dairy. They generally perform best in very low-volume drinks. Medium and dark roasts are more reliable. Their inherent notes of chocolate and caramel provide a natural bridge to the sugars found in milk. Developing that sweetness depends on the vortex steaming method, the final mechanical step in preparing the drink. By positioning the steam wand to create a whirlpool, you fold microscopic air bubbles into the liquid. This produces a glossy, uniform microfoam. Depth matters here. Submerging the wand too deeply simply boils the milk, while keeping it too close to the surface creates chaotic, large bubbles that won't integrate with the espresso. This process heats the milk and breaks down the lactose into simpler, sweeter sugars. That sweetness is the critical component needed to balance the coffee's natural bitterness. To make this actionable, we can map these variables into a decision tree based on 3 specific paths: pure espresso expression, perfect balance, or creamy comfort. If you are the purist, you want flavor clarity with just enough dairy to smooth out the edges of the shot. Choose a traditional macchiato. Use a light to medium roast pulled as a tight 1-to-1 ristretto. If you are the balancer, you seek a 50-50 harmony where the milk and coffee carry equal weight. The Cortado is your drink. Request a medium roast pulled at a standard 1-to-2 ratio. If you are the comfort drinker, you want a long sipping experience, familiar chocolatey notes, and a velvety microfoam texture. Go with a flat white. Opt for a medium to dark roast, and make sure the milk is textured into a true microfoam. Choosing the right drink is about mechanics, not marketing jargon. By adjusting the ratios, the roast, and the texture, you take the guesswork out of the menu and ensure the coffee actually meets your expectations.